The girl was looking in the mirror when she discovered that one corner of the mirror had a yellowed photo. She used tweezers to pull the photo out and discovered that it was not a photo but an ultrasound session that her mother took during her pregnancy. The above display shows that year, her mother was pregnant with twins, but in Mary's memory, she was the only girl in the house. What happened? Could it be that she once had a twin sister? She didn't think much of it. After taking a shower, she started talking to herself. In front of the mirror, Mary suddenly saw herself in the mirror and turned around to look at herself. She was scared and fell to the ground. Mary stood up, trembling, looked at the mirror, and rushed away. The human skeleton in the mirror was staring at her, with a strange smile on her face. Weird. Mary Hong Meng ran out of the bathroom. The next day, Fur decided to tell her parents about this, but faced with their cold attitude, she didn't want to say it anymore. Mary returned to her room and started applying makeup without saying anything. Discovered something unusual about the person in the mirror. When she went to school, Mary was bullied by her classmates and everyone was laughing at her. She only had her best friend Lover stand up to protect her and then coaxed the school bully that night. When Mary returned home, she immediately sadly soaked in the bathtub. She had secretly loved her best friend boyfriend for a long time, but was afraid of her relationships with her best friend, so she still didn't express her feelings. After taking a bath, she returned to her room, but still always unable to sleep. Suddenly she heard in the dark someone calling her name. She followed the sound to the makeup room and discovered the back in the mirror was turning away from her. The person in the mirror turned around and said she was her sister. Mary twin sister because she passed away when she was young. She can only use soul form to appear in the mirror. Growing up with Mary, her name is On. She is the person who understands Mary best in this world and knows everything. Mary ambition. The two of them, although they have the same face, Alon in the mirror is more confident and beautiful than Mary. With On encouragement, Mary decided to participate in ice dancing a few days later. Because she had studied, she slipped on the ice, so she asked her best friend to come over and teach her. I hoped her best friend could help her learn the techniques quickly. I didn't expect her best friend teach her half the time and then she let go. He mine. What are you talking about? You know what I'm talking about. But it turns out that my best friend already knew that Mary was secretly in love with that boyfriend, so she flirted with him first, leaving Many lying in pain on the ground and excitedly dancing on the ice that night after returning home. Elon family told Mary that that friend did not consider her a friend even though the two had known each other since childhood, but she not only often put Mary down and said bad things in front of others even when she knew she liked friends and liked that person, immediately tried to flirt with that guy. Mary also wanted to fool herself, but Elon said these were all things that her best friend had done. She felt very sad and didn't know what to do now. On suddenly said if you let her into Mary's body, she will definitely solve all the troubles. Help Mary, help her get out of this situation of being despised by others. She said, put your hand on the mirror and then gently kiss yourself even though you don't know. But Mary still did as Elon said when she was about to kiss Island in the mirror when suddenly her mother appeared. It turned out that the show was about to start, so the mother chose a beautiful outfit for Mary and then tied her hair herself up for her. When Mary arrived at the performance, she carefully stepped on the ice and then looked worriedly at the crowded crowd. Her best friend boyfriend approached her and invited her to dance with him. She and the guy went to the middle of the field, but the result was before they even had time to jump. After that, she kicked one leg with the other and fell down on her own. Her best friend boyfriend had intended to pull her up, but instead he was pulled away by his girlfriend. The guy who used to bully her suddenly had good intentions and wanted to pull her up. Many thought he really wanted to help her, but she didn't expect him to suddenly pull her hand on the ice and drag her away a long way after he left. Many struggled and left, facing everyone laughter and tears. Run home and tell someone Elon about my helplessness herself in the mirror. The person in the mirror was older sister Elon after the souls of the two changed places. Mary's sister's soul replaced Elon and was locked in the mirror after Elon entered Mary's body very quickly, having adapted to her new life. When it was morning, she took the initiative to eat breakfasts with her mother. The mother felt both surprised and happy because girls normally eat very little and rarely eat like that. At this time, the mother did not notice. The girl body was swapped with her soul. Elon instead of her sister went to school and just met a group of people who often bullied Mary. She was not Mary. She had a weak personality, so she directly leaned into his hand and said you were doing this because you wanted to win her over, attracted my attention, right? After Elon left, that guy face was as black as a pot. People started laughing at him. Someone like you, but also likes your best friend boyfriend, came to you to return the hairpin you dropped the other day. He best friend looked at Elon warily, afraid that something would happen between her and her boyfriend. If she were Mary, she would definitely pay attention to her best friend words. But Elon clearly understood that her best friend was very jealous and despised her personality. Every day after that, Elon practiced diligently every day. One day, she was about to leave the field and suddenly froze. The bully appeared and said you're dead. Then she waited until the field suddenly closed. The others were slowly freezing. As he left, that guy followed Elon, but because Elon had prepared a sneak attack, he hit him in the knee and then gave him a beating. After finishing dealing with that guy, Elon sat in her friend's car. When she went to the outdoor skating rink, she slipped shoe on the runway completely without looking. A few days ago, she had no idea how to skate. Her best friend refused to give up, showing off her skills and flexible body like a dancing butterfly, but she didn't expect that even though Elon wasn't very good at being on duty, she could basically learn from her movements. Finally, saw something unusual even though she didn't know Elon business and had changed her soul, but she felt that this girl with scary eyes in front of her was definitely not the good Mary Hyena before. She wanted to quickly leave here, who knew Elon was following closely behind her, and suddenly, she accidentally fell down. Her whole body hit the street bar and bled a lot. Elon took out her phone through the phone reflection. She saw Minnie's sad face. She studied Minnie's expression. She pretended to be scared and the police. Please send someone here. Friend, I just fell down. It seems like she died. After it came home, she came in front of the mirror. Minnie in the mirror was very sad and criticized her. Why did she kill herself? Mary really wanted to return to her body, but Elon didn't. Just she refused and said she did it to help Mary. Elon took a bath and got ready to have dinner with her serious father. Her eating style was very wild, completely different from the usual Lady Minnie, and her father didn't notice anything unusually. He just thought his daughter was going through a rebellious period. So he deliberately went against his wishes. He spoke harshly to remind his daughter to eat and drink, so she should be a little more considerate. The smile on Island's face disappeared, although she sat up straight, in her heart, secretly killing his father. The father took the initiative to measure every angle of his daughter's face. He thought that the daughter head was not beauty, her nose was a bit deliberate, her lips were not thin. If she had heart-shaped lips, she would look will be much more beautiful. Her father is a famous plastic surgeon. He has the obsession to make his daughter face into a beautiful face because in his eyes, his daughter is a vase flowers without any advantages. When Mary was not yet born, her mother had an ultrasound and found that she was pregnant with twins. But on the day of giving birth, Mary's Icelandic twin sister was a monstrous fetus. The father could not accept having such an imperfect child, so he, ignoring his wife's warnings, he threw Iceland into the pile of snow. Mary was healthy and had received a lot of love since childhood. She lived under the control and observation of her father, who did not care about her way of thinking, always wanted to create her into a work of perfection, the most vulnerable mother. Even though she heartbroken, she never disobeyed her husband. Minnie grew up very introverted and lived every day in weakness and low self-esteem. The boy she liked was beaten by her friends. She took away her friends, who bullied her every day. Minnie felt that this life was very boring. Unexpectedly, one night, they saw Elon in the mirror to help Mary get out of trouble. The two sisters decided to change their souls. Elon's soul entered Minnie's body and soul was trapped in the mirror. Elon, on Minnie's behalf, took revenge on the bully. She continued to hurt her best friend, then she went to her lover house. If it weren't for her best friend, the man would have been her boyfriend long ago, but luckily, Elon pretended to be weak and quickly attacked the man's defenses. Next, they came to become lovers. Iceland thought that this was what Minnie secretly wished for, so every day after that she stuck with this boyfriend. One day, they arranged to stay in a hotel. The boyfriend suddenly accepted, received a call from the police. The police thought that her best friend's death was a bit strange and wanted to call him to coordinate the investigation. Island's face suddenly darkened and said she was dead. Didn't he still care about her? Yes, she wanted her boyfriend to stay with her but he pushed her away. Why did she hide from the police? Did she hide something from me? Still angry, she picked up the bottle of wine and hit him on the head. Who would have thought it would be a disaster? When her boyfriend died, Hong Meng went to the mirror and saw Mary suffering and despair. Only then did Alan realize that her madness and obsession not only did not help Mary, but also caused her to fall into pain. Elon wanted to change things with Mary but tried many times, but still failed. Hong Meng went to find her father to comfort her. After turning around, Island had taken off all her clothes and asked her father if she wasn't beautiful. Am a national-born freak. Does he love me? The father never answered this question, but always shouted loudly at her to quickly get dressed, even though he didn't answer. Elon understood that he definitely wooed like children. The monster gradually lost her reason and pulled out a knife to cut her father's body. After finishing cleaning up the blood stains, she absent-mindedly wandered on the street for who knows how long before finally arriving home where her mother was still lying, sleeping in bed completely unaware that her husband had passed away. Alan lay down next to her mother. She used to hate her mother's weakness and incompetence, but now only her mother's arms can protect her from the storm. This is the end of the movie. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new movie. Bye bye.